that relationship to be solid.
You
That's
know
what
what?
I feel.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You spoke as a woman.
Yeah.
And you spoke using feminine terminology. I'll give you the masculine terminology on the
please
same
do.
thing. You understood the women's trauma, which is disrespect.
Yeah.
What is a man's trauma? Okay, a man's trauma is, since the time you're a little kid, you're told that your value is attached to how much money and fame you earn in the world.
Yeah.
And if you don't have one or both of those two, you're worth nothing. You're in fact like mocked as you're growing up about these things.
Fair.
As a woman, you're mocked about, oh, you won't be able to do anything. As a guy, you're mocked about, oh, you won't be
I
able
agree
to
with you.
reach. So
And sometimes it feels harder. Like, I mean, in a man's shoes, like, I mean, I have a brother at home and he's at that age where he's just starting off his life. So I do see, you know, him going through the challenging period of how I'm going to make it, what I'm going to do, you know, how I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Because somehow, similarly, unfortunately, women have always been told it's not there are two things. One, ki, you're not going to be able to do anything, or you're good for only getting married or whatever. So the pressure of making your own life is not put on a woman the way it's put on a man.
yeah.
And it can be equally pressurizing on a man when, like, how a woman feels that, you know, these things like what we're talking about. I totally understand when a man feels that that my value, like, you don't understand, but I have to make it, otherwise I will have no standing in life. And, you know, I can't do this if I can't be like I feel sometimes men feel, I don't know, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel sometimes men feel like, and now this is my observation of you, that I can't have my personal life flourish till I've made my professional life, like till I'm settled, till and I think that again comes from those childhood expectations, or, you know, what we've been brought up with as a society or as whatever. But why can't we look at it as two people starting life and making life together? Like, it doesn't, today, a man doesn't have to be the bread earner. It can be, those roles can be equally divided. Two people can equally put food on that table in their home. It doesn't have to be one person. And you know, you kind of, it's I'm going back into work. And this is a completely different film also that I'm doing. But like my next film, Jug Jug Jio, is about these roles. It's about, like, you know, the roles of a husband and a wife, and how especially today's women and men want to have that equality without egos. The biggest problem in a relationship today is egos, right? And now forget, not only in a relationship, in a romantic sense, I'm saying even equations with, like, say, partners, co-actors, friendships, working relationships, environments. The biggest problem is when communication and ego comes in the way.
Yeah.
And that leads to that downfall. So this understanding, like where you're saying that where it's coming from, that the reason someone's feeling a certain kind of pressure, to understand where that pressure is coming from. You want to be understanding of it, right?
You understand this as a emotionally aware girl.
Yeah.
Girls inherently are emotionally aware. Guys are not.
Guys
have two expectations. One is that, again, guys want a lot of direct input, like communication.
Yeah.
Because we are not able to communicate.
Correct.
So if, like, you know, whatever your needs are, like, you need to tell the guy. And the second one is a place of, like, vulnerability and a place of recovery. Again,
where you can be.
Yeah. And the flip side is that guys look at kind of their relationships from a sense of petrol also.
Yeah.
So y'all, I mean, I feel successful relationships happen when both parties put time and energy into it.
True.
And for a guy, that's his form of respect. And that's that's what basically.
No, that's great. Girls, this was great. I think this is something that you put so nicely.
Did I answer your question?
You did.
About guys' requirements?
Yeah, you did.
Cool. I can go on forever. You do have commitments.
They're all looking at us
throughout the rest of the day. But I hope you didn't feel like
lovely.
Any of your energy got drained
Not at
on
all.
this one.
I got enlightened.
Have you ever done
If
Reiki?
anything. I've not done Reiki. I've meditated, but I've never done Reiki.
You meditate now?
Yeah. I tried to.
A part of, so I've done Reiki and it had changed my life. I don't practice it now.
Okay.
When I'd done it, it had changed my life, and it taught me the value of wishing well even in conversation. And that's actually helped me a lot in the podcast. And that's what I do throughout every important episode to me. I'm meditating throughout, and I'm visualizing that, you know, a lot of healing and all goes towards. And I do sense you need it a little bit.
Really? Thanks.
Little bit.
Though. I think we all do now.
Yeah, for sure. But
for sure.
And
Are you giving me some Reiki?
I was just wishing you well.
Thanks.
Which maybe that's what you felt as a lack of judgment or whatever. The opposite of a lack of judgment.
Thanks.
I felt the same from you just through your conversation in terms of you have a very good idea of my career. And as a media professional, you gave me things that will take off. So it was very empathetic of you.
It was such a nice emotional conversation.
The last thing I'll say is from every podcast, I gain something. And from this one, I think we're around the same age.
Yeah.
But women mature way faster at all ages. So I gained that, oh, okay, this lady who's like around the same age as me, but she's has so much more depth. So the emotional stuff I learned, that's what I gained from this conversation. Kiara.
You know, and I want to say something before we wrap this. And what I observed about you is that you say that your emotional side is not as probably evolved as a woman's emotional side, and you're more, you've cut off and you've been able to be emotionless as your work requires it. But I think you're very articulate with your emotional side and very aware of the, the needs and feelings and how you feel. Even though you say you don't, I feel you're aware of it and you know it, and you have the ability to articulate it more than I've seen any other man, say your age, articulate it. So that's lovely.
Getting emotional right now, Kiara. No, but thank you. I appreciate
No,
it.
it was such a lovely conversation.
Yeah, it's the art of podcasting that gives you all these
insightful
insights.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. Thank you. I wish you well.
Thank you.
And I think your career is fantastic. It's going to go where
We've
it
had
has
this
to.
amazing emotional conversation, but I'm going to also entertain you because I've come here. I'm going to promote my movie also.
Yes.
Guys, 20th May, Bhool Bhulaiya 2 is coming. It's going to be an insightful watch in a very entertaining way. So I'd love for you to go and just enjoy this one.
Yes, we will. We will. Bhool Bhulaiya 2 out soon. Your career, fantastic. But whatever your personal life is, I hope that is not just as good as your career, but I hope it goes even beyond because I think that's your priority.
Yes, it is.
So good for you, Kiara
Thank
Advani.
you. It was lovely talking to you.
Likewise.